data, and to be a data scientist, you will have to have a skill of statistics and also the mathematics, and you highlight some of the important features of data analytics so that in the long run you will be a good profession in this area. So basically the data science, already know the machine learning, it is a field that is a student have very opportunity for the placement. Now with this few words, I thanks the Mr. Mukul Basu to give the lectures, and he was associated with the Bhojpuri Institute of Technology for 4 to 5 years. And I'm grateful that here today he agreed to deliver lecture on the issue that is data analytics. Now I hand over to Mukul Basu to start his lecture. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Firstly, I would like to thank the Department of Computer Science of Bhojpuri Institute of Technology, also HOD Dr. Bimal Kumar Datta for providing me the opportunity and also the platform which I can use to deliver this lecture to the students of their colleges, particularly CSE department, about data analytics. Now, as sir told, I will continue from that part. Now, we are calling this as webinar. It doesn't mean that I will only speak. It is your responsibility also to participate. I do not want the seminar or this webinar to be a boring one. Rather, I want that I will be discussing some points with you. There are so many things new you will be learning today, which you have not heard of, or even if you have heard of, you are not quite clear about the concepts. So those concepts have to be cleared first. During this session of 90 minutes, we are going to discuss a lot of things. Also, I want you to raise questions. I have told you already that you just put off your microphone for the time being, but just in case, if you feel like asking something, you can put on your microphone and ask me the question. There is no problem with that. But in general, please keep your microphone in off mode. Now, we are going to start the session called data analytics. Now, before moving to the actual thing, I will be not only talking about the subject, I will be showing you some presentations also, which will actually help you to understand the concepts well. Because pictorial understanding is the best understanding. Whatever things I say for a long time may not remain in your mind for long. You might forget after 2, 3, 7 days time. But if I show you the entire format in pictorial format, things will get permanently registered in your mind. So some presentations will be there, some queries will be there, and I will be happy to answer your queries. Now, the first thing, we are not directly moving to the presentation. Before that, what need to be understand is the word called data. Firstly, generally we confuse two words. They look similar, but actually they are not. We always talk about data, rarely we talk about informations. Now this data and information both are not similar things. Let me get it very much clear that data can be in scattered format or in other format or in unstructured format. But information is always in a structured format. So in a single line, we can say that structured data is information. We have been talking repeatedly about data science, data analytics, and the word every time we use and repeat is called data. But the actual fact is that we work with informations. You cannot work with data because they are not in structured format. That is the reason for why we learn a particular topic in our curriculum called DBMS or RDBMS. Database Management System, where we learn to store data in rows and columns, basically in tabular format. Furthermore, to get its complex nature understand, we learn RDBMS, Relational Database Management Systems, in which we interrogate or we try to join data of various tables having various informations. Our point of discussion today is not DBMS or RDBMS. The reason for why I'm bringing this point is that if you do not understand how to work with data and how to convert them to information, our work is not going to work. As a data analyst, as a data scientist, as a programmer or market analyst, your prime objective is to understand the nature of data. Now, what do you mean by nature of data? Anybody can say, sir, data is data. What is nature? What is nature about it? See, every kind of nature data belongs to a certain category. So if you do not understand the nature of the data, you will not be able to deal with them. Some data are numeric in nature, some data are in character nature, some data are alphanumeric in nature. So these are all data, but they are of not similar pattern. You cannot treat them in similar way. Neither you can use similar software for handling them. As I go through the presentation, I will tell you what are the various softwares available in the market, which is mostly used for the data scientists and for IT people also. Now, let me tell you one thing very clearly. This subject, data science, is not restricted to any category as such. Any students coming from any sort of background, it may be from MBA background, from BTech background, from CSE, EC, MBA, BBA, it doesn't matter. Because this category is not restricted to programming also. Generally, we have a thought process that it can only be learned by programmers, it can be only be learned by who deals with programs or knows to write programs. That concept is absolute false. Data science, data analytics can be learned by any people. See, when you talk about data analytics, the point of distinction has to be very clear. There are certain tools which are called data analytics tools. There are certain tools which are called visual analytic tools. Now over here, data analytics and visual analytics are two different terms. And based on two different terms, they are defined type of software also, which helps us to do so. So again, I'm repeating, there is no restriction that people having only the knowledge of programming can learn these things, nothing like that. As I am repeating, any people from any background, from BCom background, BA background, MBA background, or any disciplines can learn data analytics tools. As I was talking about the data, our prime objective is to understand the nature of the data, convert them into proper tables, and then implement the software that has been given to us. Now, this software which we are talking about are not general software that we learn in our curriculum. Truly speaking, none of the MBA colleges or BTech colleges have this particular software in their curriculum. They do not have it in their syllabus. But the true fact is that apart from IT field, lots of job openings are coming up in the data analytics sector. And the requirement is high, the supply is poor, which means we are not having adequate number of people knowing data analysis. So if the requirement is 100 people, we hardly get 10 people. And what we do next, we again search for the 90 people which we do not get. So you can very easily understand this section, job section of data analytics is not saturated at all. There are lots of companies are opening up. There are lots of IT companies who have opened up their new section called data analytics sections. Companies like TCS, Wipro, CTS, Capgemini, HSBC Bank, you talk about any top MNC companies, previously they did not have their data analytics sections. They only were known for their, Umesh, please stop presenting something. So those companies are were only known for software development companies, which is now not the fact. All these big shot companies are opening up their analytic wings also, and they're recruiting people in a large scale. Now, what problem they are facing is that they have to train the people, and for which they do not have the time. So what they're looking for is a person. It can be from BTech background, MBA background, BBA background, whatever. The person should be learned enough or learned enough in any of the data analytics tools. So that is the only requirement the companies are having right now. You need to be graduate and you need to have a knowledge about at least one data analytics tool, and your absorption is sure. Now, the objective of this webinar is to tell you the advantages of learning or knowing data analytics as well as the job opportunities. Now, since all of you are in the second year or third year or final year, either you will be moving to the job market now or you will be moving to the job market 1 year down the line or maybe maximum 2 years down the line. So you have to know what the job market is all about. Let me tell you very clearly, it is not only about IT. It is not only about IT, it is about IT also and business analytics also. Now, till this month I have talked about the basics and the fundamentals. If you have got any query, you can please ask me. Your window time is for 1 minute. You can ask me within this time. Any query? You can ask me. তো যা তোমার মনে হবে জিজ্ঞেস করা দরকার, you can ask me very confidently. We are not going to judge you based on your questions. So if you have got any query, please ask. Any queries? Anybody? Okay. Till number 10. Yes, anybody? Anybody have got any questions regarding whatever things I have told up till now? No, fair enough. So what I'm doing is that I'm starting the session phase wise. I will tell you, I'll show you the presentation, I'll tell you what data it is all about, and whatever things you are going to learn today will be of massive help to you in coming days. Still, I'm saying you, if you have got any query, you are most welcome to ask me. So we are going to start the presentation now. Watch this presentation very carefully. Umesh, please close your presentation. Umesh Pal, please close your presentation. Something is going on. Umesh, thank you, Umesh. So we are going to start the presentation now. Please pay attention. So GlobeNet Systems presents data analytics. This is the subject of our topic today. Can everybody see it clearly? Some of you please.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir, we can see clearly.
Okay. Yes, sir. Just in case if someone is feeling difficulty in seeing, please let me know. Now, before we start the session, I'd like to tell a little bit about our company. This GlobeNet Systems is an IT and business analytics based training company. Basically, we are an education company. We impart high-end IT and business analytics trainings. We focuses on the students and their students so that the students become always industry ready. And we cater all sort of students. They can be from MBA background, they can be from MCOM background, from economics background, MCA, CSC from IT, EC, BCom, whatever platform you can see, whatever discipline you know, anybody from any discipline comes to us for learning either IT subjects or data analytics subjects. That is what exactly we do. Now, what are the things we are going to learn today? There are certain key points which we'll be discussing. Now, number one is what is business analytics. Now, let me tell you one thing. Over here, whenever I'll be using the term business, it means data. In the industry, two words are interchangeably used. Either we call them data analytics or we call them business analytics, because the entire business world is running on data. So either this will do or that. The second point is, what is data visualization? Third point is, what is business intelligence, what we call as BI? How do we develop business performance? Key stages of business intelligence, data types and data presentations, and how business intelligence works with marketing, HR, finance, SCM, and science. And the last point, which is a very important point, is tools and software for data analytics. So all these 8 points are the key points that we are going to cover up. And I want you to pay very much attention to all the points, all the slides I will be disclosing, I will be showing to you, and also I will be explaining the points to you. So these are the things we are going to cover today. The first question comes to our mind is, what exactly is analytics? Now, prior to that, we need to answer 2 important questions. What is visualization and why is visualization important? Now, can anybody tell me what is the difference between seeing and visualization? What is the difference between seeing a data and visualizing a data? Anybody? Now, these two English terms may be similar in nature in general, but in categorical terms or analytics terms, they are different. When you are seeing a data, you are not doing any kind of investigation of the data. You are just seeing it. Whereas when you are visualizing a data, you cannot visualize the data as you see a thing. Visualization can only be done with the help of certain tools. So if you do not have the tool support, you won't be able to. If you don't have the tool support, you won't be able to visualize the data properly. Now the second question comes is, why is visualization important? It says, data visualization is the process of describing information through visual rendering. Please understand the term very well. Data visualization is the process of describing information through visual rendering. Data visualization is the presentation of data in the pictorial or graphical format. It enables decision makers to see analytics presented visually so that they can grasp difficult concepts or identify new patterns. That means over here, we will be converting the data in pictorial format. As I said previously also, understanding a data is much more easier in pictorial format or graphical format rather than text format. I'll again get back to the presentation. So, whatever things I've told you till now, is that not clear? Please anybody respond, not all.
Yes, sir.
What is visualization and what is the difference between seeing and visualizing? Seeing means you're looking into the data but you are not investigating the facts. And visualizing means you're utilizing a specific tool to find out certain facts which you can never see with your naked eyes. Not possible. If you have got 1,000 data, probably you will be able to see them. But if I give you 1 lakh of data, what do? You won't be able to do any kind of calculations. You won't be able to come to any kind of conclusions if the volume of data is 1 lakh in nature. So in that case, visualization comes into play. That is investigating the data with the help of tools. And seeing the data means you are just watching the data, but you are not investigating anything. You do not have to investigate. That's why we say that we're investigating. Please stop presenting anything. That's why we say that we see movies. We never say that we're going to visualize the movies. Because the word over here, visualization, is something else. Kasturi Ghoshal, please stop presenting. Kasturi Ghoshal, please stop presenting. Kasturi, please. Kasturi Ghoshal, I request you to stop presenting. Just hold on. Kasturi, please stop presenting. Okay, thank you. Again, we are coming back to where we left. As I was talking about, that there is a difference between these two, data visualization and data seeing. Now you see the format which I am showing you. In the left hand side, you will get to see a lot of data is shown in tabular format. But in the right hand side, you are getting to see the data in graphical format. In most of the cases, company is not interested to see the data in this left-hand side format because it is not understandable at one go. Whereas if you see the data in the right-hand side, which has been represented by a graph, it is easy to understand. So that is what company is looking at, and that is what data scientists do. They convert the raw data into tabular format, but they do not present the data in tabular format. They inform, they get the data transferred to a tabular format, then introduce or work with certain softwares so that the data gets converted to this kind of graphical format. Now, till now, you had been doing this kind of graphical conversion using Excel probably. But Excel, remember one thing, Excel is not a statistical tool. It basically is a financial tool. Although it can help you for certain kind of conversion from data into graph, but it has got its limitations. So what we will do is that instead of using the Excel tool, we will be implementing certain other tools which are actually statistical tools or softwares. Because data analytics cannot be done with Excel alone. You need to have very strong softwares which are made for this purpose. Now, why is visualization important? First of all thing is that we human beings are visual creatures. We can understand visual information very fast. We remember visually. Charts or graphs can be processed by human brains faster and easier than spreadsheets or reports, and also for business purpose. So the objective is that if the data is represented to us in graphical format, and since we are all visual creatures, it becomes very much important and easy for us to grasp things. If I tell you something about the map of India, you will not be able to remember all the points. But if I show you the map of India, next time it will be registered in your mind because it has been shown to you in graphical format. So next time if I ask you about the map of India, you will be able to tell me where positions are located because it has been already registered in your mind. That is the reason for why when you are doing a business or when you are creating business reports, all the reports should come in graphical format. Because company owners, directors, all the high people in the companies are more concerned with the graphical representation of their business rather than raw data. Raw data are meant for statisticians, raw data are meant for data analysts who works with the data, not for the top management. So your objective as a data scientist or a data people or a data management people is to convert the data into meaningful information graphically. And let me tell you, that is not that easy task. Whatever things you have learned till now in Excel probably were one of the easiest tasks you have learned. But now onward, things are not going to be easy that one. Data visualization in business needs. Business realizes that a visual can communicate more information than a table and in much smaller space. Data visualization leads to better understanding and allows for better business decision more accurately and quickly. Now, as I said, is that we will be interchanging two words simultaneously. One is data, one is business. Now, over here, these two words mean the same thing. Whenever companies are running their business, they truly and 100% rely on data only. So, if your calculation are pure, if your software is okay, and if you put down your intelligence in utilizing the software, obviously you will be getting a more proper visualized report, which will help the company to take a decision. Remember, we are using this data analytics tool to generate certain reports which will be helping us in decision making. That is the prime criteria of any data analytics tool. It says a picture is worth 1,000 words, which is very true. Humans are very good in solving complex problems. As you can see, we are having four kinds of charts over here. We have bar graphs, we have line graphs, we have histogram, we have pie chart. Now, when you are converting your data into a graphical format, whichever format you choose, you will be remembering them long time. It says visual representation enhances the human cognitive process. Basically, it helps us to remember things more than raw data. As I gave you an example, the map of India is still in your mind because you have actually seen it. So seeing a data in pictorial format or graphical format is very important. But prior to that, you need to understand how to create them, how to design them. Now here I would like to address one thing to you. First thing is that every kind of chart is not made for every kind of data. I'm repeating the word once again. Every kind of chart, every kind of data is not made for every kind of chart. Whatever data we'll be using for pie chart, we cannot use the same kind of data for line graph. Whatever we'll be using for the bar chart, we cannot use the same graph for pie chart. So remember, understanding the nature of data is very important. Because when you talk about data, in statistical terms, we talk about two kinds of data, continuous data and non-continuous data. What is continuous data? Number like salary, age, all the data that keep on increasing and decreasing stock market value, these are non-continuous in nature. But whereas you talk about your phone number and PIN code, they are discontinuous in nature because neither your phone number will go on increasing every year, nor your address or PIN code value stay will go on increasing or decreasing every year. So understanding of continuous and non-continuous data is important. That is the first thing. If you understand what kind of data you're working with, accordingly you can choose your graph, whether to select pie chart or bar graph or line graph or histogram or whatever things you feel like. Because I have only shown you only 4 types of graphs. There are thousands of types of graphs which you can work with. Again, I'm coming back to the discussion point. Anyone would like to ask any questions? Please ask. Akshay Sarkar, are you there? Akshay Sarkar, are you there? Amisha Mohsin, are you there? I'm not getting response from Amisha Mohsin. Onimita Patro, you have got any query? Onimita, are you there? Onimita, do you have any questions to ask? Anybody from the list? I'm having 69 people with me. Orpita Das, do you have any query to ask till now?
No, sir, everything is clear.
This is Orpita, I believe. Have you understood?
No, sir, no query. Everything is clear.
Yes, sir.
Okay, just in case, I will come back to you maybe after 5-10 minutes after showing some presentations. So if you've got any queries, please ask me. Okay, again, continue with. Yes, any queries?
Sure, sir, sure.
Okay. Again, I'm getting back to the presentation we were showing you. Yes, we have been talking about different types of data and different types of graphs based on different types of data. Now, when we are talking about business analytics, 2 terms will come to our mind. The first one is called BI, which stands for Business Intelligence. The second one is BA, which is called Business Analytics. Now, these 2 terms are not different. Either we will be talking about BI or we will talk about BA. What it says that it's an architecture and the collection of integrated operational as well as digital support applications and databases that provide the business community easy access to business data. Basically, they are talking about certain specific softwares which helps us to take a decision. How? Because the reports that will be generated, some of the software that we're talking about is built on AI, that is artificial intelligence. For example, there is a software called Tableau software, which you can use, which do have inbuilt AI systems in there. You don't have to ask the queries because already the AI knows what kind of query you're going to ask. So those kind of support and those kind of facilities you cannot expect to get in Excel because those softwares are totally made by different purpose. Now, what is BI or business intelligence? It says business intelligence allows people at all levels of our organization to access, interact, and analyze this data to improve performance, discover opportunities, operate efficiently, and predictive decision making. Now, if you know what is going wrong in your organization, you can take a step to improve the performance of the employees or anything. You can also find out what are new discovery opportunities. If you want to grow, what are the opportunities you have? How can you operate efficiently? And the last and the fourth one is the most important part, which is predictive decision making. Again, I'm repeating the word. The fourth point is the key word, the most important part, predictive decision making. Basically, you can predict what is going to happen. You can basically forecast the status of your business. maybe for 5 years, 7 years, 10 years down the line. Now, how do you predict what is going to happen because you have not seen the future? Yes, that can also be done. There are certain softwares, one of the software we know, the name of the software is called eViews. It is mostly used for the companies who do this kind of predictive analysis. So these companies have utilized this eView software to put down the data of the previous years, and they have got a certain process which they implement to find out or predict what is going to happen in terms of business. So predictive decision making is one of the key features of business intelligence tools. And over here, tools means softwares. So if I implement this kind of tools in my company, there are so many types of them. We have got Python programming, we have got R programming, we have got SPSS, we have got eViews, we have got Tableau, we have got Pentaho. There are thousands of, not thousands, hundreds of software available in the industry which the big companies or the agency company implements. Now, why do they implement it? Why do they spend crores of rupees in purchasing or acquiring this kind of software? Obviously, it improves their productivity, improves their customer satisfaction, increases flexibility, streamline managing. There are so many important points, and most important is informed decision making. Remember one thing, these softwares are not made for any other purpose apart from giving you results or reports. So once you get your reports in your hand, it will help you for taking an informed decision making. Other points are also there. You can analyze the report by finding out what is going wrong in your company. What should be taken care of? All these things you cannot find them just by seeing. You need to visualize it, and for them you need to implement these softwares. So these are certain benefits that we get when we work with data. You refine them, put them within these tools, and get out of the report out of it. Now, how to develop business performance? Now again, I'm starting with the basic part, the basic word which is called data. Any company who wants to grow, they need to perform well. Their business performance is to do well. It is not that easy task. Let me tell you, any company which you can think of, you talk about Airtel, you talk about Vodafone, you talk about Maruti, you talk about Apple, whatever company comes to your mind, every company wants to grow. Basically, every company wants to increase their business performance. But how do they do that? The basic thing starts from the data part, which is the raw part which you cannot work with much. So they have to convert it to state to which is information. So once you get the data in tabular form by information, you have to put down the software into it to find out the intelligence out of it. Intelligence over here means you are getting to know what exactly is happening within the data. Because there is so many information which is hidden under the data which you do not know. Until unless you put down your data into proper software and utilize your base with proper formulas, you will not get to use, you will not understand what is exactly happening. That is what intelligence means. And over here, people who work in the research and development comes into play. Once your intelligence is done, what your knowing is done, you go for the fourth step, which is called innovation steps. That is, you make some innovative models, you make some innovative plans, you make some innovations in strategies, and that helps you to increase your performance. So, if I want to go to the big stage, which is the business performance stage, I won't be able to move that directly. I have to start from the scratch level. In my case, the data formation and validation of data is the scratch level. Again, I'm getting back to you for some discussions. Hello, everybody. Any queries till now? Please ask me a few questions. Obidin Das, can you hear me? Obidin Das?
Yes, sir.
Do you have any query?
Sir, how are these data converted into graphs?
I have not told you as you can do that. You have got data, you want to convert it into information first. Until unless you convert your data into information, you do not get intelligence, which is the understanding of the data. If you do not get the intelligence, you cannot take any call or you cannot play innovative part. Basically, you are forming new strategies. Once you form new strategies, you get to see your business is doing well. So it is very much mandatory for multinational companies as well for mid-sized companies to analyze their data at regular interval of time so that they can change their strategies at some point of time. A particular company cannot go on move on to the same strategy year after year. It cannot happen. You have to change your strategy, but the strategy formation comes in the fourth unit. The fourth unit is take your data, screen the data, convert them to information, get information out of intelligence out of information, then take your strategy so that your business grows. So there is a chain of work which you cannot skip any steps. It has to go as per the law. Any other questions, anybody else? Orko Shah, are you there? Orko Shah? Rotin Kanda, are you there? So I'm not getting any questions from your end. Fair enough. Again, I'm moving back to the presentation part. Can everybody see? Please, some of you respond.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So, the key stages of business intelligence. So, the business intelligence of BI is divided into 5 parts, or basically 5 stages. The first stage, which is the basic stage, is for data sourcing or gathering the data from every media. Now, let me tell you, whenever we are talking about sourcing of data, this data can be of various kinds. It can be primary data, it can be secondary data, it can be tertiary data. Now, if you know what primary data is, which is the direct data that we get from the peoples, partial data or the tertiary data or the secondary data may not be pure in format. So it is always advisable that whenever you are doing a stage 1, whenever you are in phase 1, always use primary data. If your primary data is less, doesn't matter. Actually, they should be pure. Because if your data is not pure, your output will be wrong. And if your output is wrong, your decision is going to be wrong one. And if your decision is wrong, your work is going to fail, or your analysis is going to fail, or your company is going to fail. So the prime part of phase 1, which we call as stage 1, data sourcing, pure data sourcing is very important. Now, once you have gathered the data, the stage 2 or phase 2 we call them as data analysis. Now, over here, you have to put down your data through software. Those software which are made for data analysis only. Here we cannot use Excel or any other kind of software. We cannot use Access for this. We have to use the software that is specified for that job. And stage 3 comes in situation awareness, for understanding what is happening with your data. How the business is moving. Is it moving good? Is it moving bad? Is it not moving at all? So there are various stages of a business. Now, until unless you do the analysis, you will not be aware of what is happening. Once the thing is clear, then you come to phase 4, which we call as risk analysis. Basically, when you're moving a show or running a business, certain kind of risk is always involved. But that analysis part has to be taken care of first. Whether you should be ready to take the risk or not, that is also a calculated fact. You might know that in coming 1 year, your company is going to lose 1 crore rupees. That is also risk analysis. And you also know that in the coming second year or third year, your company is going to gain 2 crore rupees. That is also analysis. So risk analysis has to be done. After that comes the last and the most important one, decision taking or decision support. When your risk analysis strategy is important, then you can take a call or take a decision whether to go ahead or not, or to scale your strategies. Now you cannot come to stage 1 directly because data starts from stage 1. So stage 1, then comes to stage 2, then execution awareness, then risk analysis of data is done, then company takes a decision which you call as decision support. So these are the 5 key stages of business intelligence. Now, I will show you some sample data. Remember, they are all data, but you cannot understand all the data that I see. ask you to design a report out of it, will you be able to find a report out of it? Anybody? If I ask you to bring a report out of it, will you be able to bring out the report out of this data? It is very difficult. It is very difficult because the data are not in proper format and you don't know where to start and where to end. And let me tell you in practical life, we are going to get this type of data for all. I'm showing another example. This is data type 2. As you can see, the structure of this data is at least better than the last one. I'm showing you the last data, which is this one, which is very much unstructured in nature. The second one is this, at least this is structured in nature. But still, if I ask you to bring a report out of it, you might find it difficult to create a report out of this data. It's because then again, these data are not in proper format that it should be. Next, I'm showing an example of data which is type 3. Now you see, over here also we have a huge amount of data, but again in a very unstructured format. Data type 4. Here the data is also not in the formation of tables because the data are not stored in tabular structures. Data type number 5. They are all horizontally and vertically aligned. They are not unstructured, but still formation of report from this data is very difficult. Data type 6. Data type 7. See, at least over here, you are getting to see the data in columnar format. As we can see there are 5 columns. At least this one is better than the last 6. Because the last 6 data were not in proper rows and columns. At least over here, you are getting to see there are 5 columns and there are certain rows. Look into this data. Now, this is exactly what we are looking at. We need to control the data. Basically, we need to put down the data in proper columns. Because if the data are not stored properly, you cannot do analysis with that. The first and the foremost objective of data science or data analysis is to store the data in the format which is required. It doesn't matter whether you store it in Excel or in PHP format or in DAX format or in CSV format. There are thousands of formats in which data can be stored. But at least they should have a columnar structure. So if it is stored in rows and columns, things become easier for us. Now, we will be doing some techniques for data analytic techniques. Now, you have the data which is defined, you have the software which you can use to reduce the data in formats. Now, the question is, what are the techniques or what are the things I should be doing which will help me to generate a report of my choice? Now, based on the requirement of your client or based on the requirement of your company, you have to choose a particular function which is already inbuilt in the system. I mean, this point which are mentioned over here, like statistical hypothesis, data modeling, regression, P-model, cluster analysis, time series, they are all part of statistics. Now, do you need to know all of them? Do you need to utilize all of them? The answer is no. You do not need to implement all the formulas. First of all, these formulas you do not need to learn. Secondly, you do not have to write because the software that you will be using for analysis of data, they already have this option inbuilt in there. Like you have different features in Excel, these are the features which are easily available within those kind of software. All you need to do is to choose. That is what is your work is. You have got the pure defined data, you have got the software, you have got the options which is given over here. All you need to do is to choose the right formula for your output. Might be some of you might be requiring cluster analysis for your report, some of you might require regression for your report, some of you might require time series for your report. And for this, you do not have to write any coding as such, because all the software that we're going to talk about already have this option in them inbuilt. Only you need to know where to utilize these functions on which data. Now, this 8 is not all. There are other points also, statistical formulas, which we need to do, or which we need to work with for analysis of data. I have intentionally mentioned only the best of 8. There can be 20, 25 formulas for different kind of reports, but I have not mentioned all of them over here. This is only for your understanding purpose that these are the basic things we need to know theoretically so that we can implement it in our software. Now, the next question is, I have got the data, I have got the software, I have got the intelligence, I have got the tool. Now, how is business going to work? It says, first thing is that you will fetch the data from somewhere, and what is that place? It says, data is gathered from the IT systems in a company, but they are ERP or CRM systems, enterprise resource planning or customer relationship management systems, or from Excel spreadsheet to other personal tools. Data is cleaned, standardized, and then presented to business user in a friendly way. Information is displayed through dashboard and scoreboards. Now let me tell you, when it says data is cleaned and standardized, it is your responsibility to clean the data. It is your responsibility to standardize the data and put them in tabular form. Now let me tell you what practically happens. Nobody gives you clean data. Nobody gives you standardized data. They give you data in different formats. It is your responsibility to get the data clean. And after this is done, then you can implement your software to create something called dashboards and scoreboards, where you will get to see all the reports of your data. In a particular screen, different reports are shown, which we either call as dashboards or we call them as scoreboards. Now, before I move into this thing, I'd like to say there are various areas in which we can implement the business intelligence. One of the areas is in marketing. Now, business intelligence tools helps marketers a great deal with their marketing effort. When business intelligence tools are unified and used by the marketers, marketing campaigns are more effective. As I was talking about, we can use it in marketing, we can use it in human resource, we can use it in science, we can use it in any sector we want. Just remember, wherever their data is, analysis will be done. The second point says there are many tools in business intelligence to analyze information that provide insight into patterns of clients. With this information, companies can design data campaigns, target the right audience, and more precisely and better understand the initiative that generate the best results. We are not aware of the fact how this BI is used by mostly multinational companies. We just think that they come up with the ad just like that. We just think that they are doing a business campaign just like that. Nobody is doing this kind of marketing without any kind of calculation in the back. Business intelligence tool is utilized by the all top companies. Whether you talk about Lakme, you talk about Ponds, you talk about Amul, you talk about Maruti company, you talk about Honda company, you talk about any company which comes to your mind. Please do not think they are fools. They are not fools. They are spending crores of rupees on business intelligence tool to understand how the business is going and what steps needs to be taken so their sales rises up. So BI tool is mostly used by the companies in their marketing purpose also. You can use your tools to find the trend, what is going on, and what should be your next step to have a gaps in the market. Next is human resources. Like human resource department fulfill a number of key functions within a company, such as hiring, training, organizing corporate events, and also firing. So it is not only used for recruiting, it is also used for firing also. The HR manager's role itself is multifaceted and demands quick solutions. When a company is hiring, it has vast amount of data to get through to find the perfect candidate for the role. But even before that, we need to identify the key traits of the ideal candidate, and that's where BI comes in. Now, in big companies, you'll see there's certain procedures of joining. there are certain procedures of interview. All the companies do not recruit you with a single interview. Particularly multinational companies, they follow certain protocols worldwide. All your data, all your marks of class 10, of your marks of class 12, all your marks of your graduation, of your diploma, your certificates, or whatever things you have learned, all are put into records. And they give the responsibility to the AI system, there is artificial intelligence system of the software to find out the exact pure candidate they are looking for. Now, this process is not done by all companies and not possible also for all companies because this kind of software costs very high. So it is not possible for all the companies to procure this kind of software for candidate selections. But if this is done, they can expect to get the best of the results. Basically, out of 100 people, if they want to recruit 10 people, business intelligence software will help them for that. So basically, it will reduce the tension and workload of the HR manager. So to get a perfect candidate in human resource department, business intelligence software is also used. Next, beyond finance, you already know that finance is the bloodline of any company. As we say, business intelligence tools provide the finance department with insight on the bottom line. The study of the historical data can offer key insights into future trends and help the company anticipate and calculate risk. Remember, we said that we have a factor called calculated risk in step 4. Now, what is this calculated risk? Who takes care of that? This calculated risk, when we talk about risk, we are basically taking that word where we're looking to the financial risk. That is the risk we're talking about. And who takes care of that? The finance department. Now, how does finance department know how much amount of risk is there? What is going to happen next? What is going to be the future trend? What is the bottom line? Now, when you're working with lakhs and crores of data of huge company, it is not possible for the finance officer to do all the things manually, and it is not done in that way also. So over there also, the key role of business intelligence comes into play. All you need to do is to put down or to feed the data into the system, basically into the software, and implement your thought, implement your intelligence in choosing the right formula so that you can get the result which you are looking for. So not only in marketing, not only in HR, not only in other sector, BI is also used in finance sector also. So a big company in finance department should always have a ERP, enterprise user planning software, should always have a CRM, customer relationship management software, should also have a tool, a statistical tool which will help them to understand the future trends and which will help them to understand and anticipate the calculated risks. We as a user are not aware of such things is happening. The practical fact is that these things are happening. So big company, the big companies are running on crores of business, doing crores of business every day, like Amazon, like eBay, like Flipkart. They are all utilizing business intelligence tools for understanding what is going to happen, how things are happening, and what should be their calculated risk. This is how it goes. I am only showing you a screenshot of the output of assets, incomes and expenses. You will get to understand how with the help of business intelligence tool, you can create this kind of pie charts and understand the exact situation of business at any point of time. These three charts at one go will not be able to find out with the help of using Excel sheets. No, that cannot be done. For that, you need to have a particular software. It's called Tableau software, which will help you to design and create this kind of charts for your understanding purpose. Now, by seeing the chart, the company can take a call and understand what amount of assets they have, what amount of income they are going to have, and what are the expenses they need to incur in the coming days. Now again I get back to the discussion part. Yes, anybody wants to ask me any questions? Anybody? Deeparna Pal, are you there?
Yes, sir.
We talked about business intelligence in marketing. We talked about business intelligence in human resource. We talked about human intelligence in finance. Any queries you have?
No, sir.
Okay, thank you. Deep Boni, do you have any query?
No, sir, no point.
Okay. Devorshi Vishwas? Devorshi Vishwas, any query?
Yes, sir, no queries.
Okay. Jolly, do you have any query?
No, sir.
Okay,
No, sir.
thank
No.
you.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. See, again, I'm telling you, every 5 minutes after I will come back to you, we'll discuss what you have learned. So if you have got any query, please ask me. Again, we are getting back to our main presentation. Yes. Now, not only in marketing, not only in finance, not only in human resource, not only in sales, business intelligence tools are used everywhere, even in science. It is used in human level image classification. I will show you an example. Human level speech recognition, human level handwriting transcription, improve machine translation, improve text to speech conversion, digital assistants such as Google Now and Amazon Alexa, and human level autonomous driving. So all these things falls under the scientific category in which we are using the business intelligence. Because whenever we are talking about business intelligence or data intelligence, we are not specific to any particular software. There are different kind of software used for different kind of activities. For the first activity, human level image classification, we have a tool called Python. This is a programming language, and we have a tool called Anaconda, in which we write down the Python programs for this human level image classification. Second, we have human level speech recognition. In this case also, we are using the Anaconda tool for our purpose. Improve text to speech conversion. We have different BI tools which we implement in some scientific studies. So it is not that BI is used in data, is used in business only. Yes, it is a true fact that most of the companies which are running businesses, they are utilizing the BI tool for their purpose, which is the true fact. But apart from that also, it is highly used in scientific research. Deliberately, I only mentioned 7 points over here. It does not get limited to 7 points only. There are thousands of activities, thousands of points in which we are utilizing BI. Even we can utilize BI to find out how much snowfall is going to happen in a particular place. So whatever thing comes to our mind, if we have got some data of the previous year or maybe 10 years, 20 years, we can implement the concept of BI into the software and find out what we are going to learn. So not only in business, it is primarily used in scientific researches also. Next, the most important part, tools and software for data analytics. It says, in order to execute BI process successfully, BI tools are required. The tools or softwares are SPSS. The full form of SPSS is Statistical Package for Social Science. R programming, which you are aware of. Python programming, which you are aware of. Quick Review is a tool. Pentaho is a tool. Looker is a tool. Splunk is a tool. Power BI and Insight Square is a tool. Tableau is a tool, whereas SAS is a software. I mean, programming software. So out of all the options I'm showing you, R is a programming language, Python is a programming language, and SAS is a programming language. Apart from that, rest of the things which you see, SPSS, Pentaho, Power BI, Review, Looker, Tableau, they are data analytics tools. Basically, they are used for the people who are coming from non-programming background. As I said in the earlier time that even students coming from the MBA or BBA department or BCom department or from BSc department also, who does not have a strong foundation of programming, they can learn data learning also. And for that, they do not need to learn R programming or Python or SAS, they can learn rest of the tools also. So once your basic concept of basic statistics is clear, understanding any of the tools will be easy task for you. Now, I will not recommend all the courses to all because does not make any sense. But at least knowledge of one programming tool is must, knowledge of one tool is must. At people can learn R programming and spaces also. People can learn R programming on Power BI also. People can learn Python programming on SAS also. I mean, with Spark also. So the knowledge of one visual tool and the knowledge of one programming tool is what is expected out of a candidate. So whenever you bring your resume, whatever qualifications you have in MBA or BBA or BTech, this additional tools is a must. Remember one thing, even if you recruited for you will be interviewed for IT company for IT job, questions will be asked from data analytics and they will not ask you any hard questions. They will ask you the basic questions from data analytics, maybe basic questions from R programming, maybe some basic queries from Power BI. They do not expect you to be experts on the software because they know they have not learned all the software very well. And at least the knowledge of knowing some of them in details is compulsory. At least you will be in a position to answer their queries. So the people who are from technical background or from non-technical background, it has become compulsory for anyone who are looking to do a job in management discipline or in IT software. You need to have an understanding of any of the tools. At least two tools from this particular category of 9 and 10 software. So once you are programming, understanding SAS will be easy. Once you know Python programming, understanding of Power BI will be easy. Always remember that if you learn your programming language well, understanding of tool is much more easier than doing programming. But a combination of knowledge has to be there. Now, what are the softwares we're looking for? We're looking for certain softwares like Power BI, SPSS, R programming, Python and such. Now there are certain properties which should be there in the software which are going to purchase or procure. Number one is speed in the market, that is, it should always be available in the market. Number two is easy to use, because if it is not easy to use, it might be difficult for non-programming people. Number three is performance with any kind of data. As I said that while you are working, you might get data from any sources. That can be Excel file, that can be SPSS file, that can be a SAS file, that can be an Access file, that can be an Oracle file. So the software you are dealing with should have the capability of handling any kind of data. And the files and the software which I have shown above, all of them has the capability of handling any sort of data. All of them. Obviously, the main and most important part is standard and interactive plots, or basically it should have the capability of displaying data in all possible graphical format. Because again I'm repeating, nobody is interested to see your data in text format. Nobody likes data in text format. Everybody wants to see that in a graphical format. So your software should be strong enough to display the data in all possible graphical or interactive plots or formats. Now, you might ask, sir, if I learn R programming, if I learn SPSS, or if I learn Penta or Looker, what are the possibilities of my recruitment? What are my prospects? Should I be utilized as what? But there are certain profiles which I am showing you. There are certain nomenclature. You can be recruited as data manager, you can be recruited as business analyst, you can be recruited as data analyst, you can be recruited as program analyst, and you can be recruited as market researchers. As you can see, all the names are not the same, and so is the profile. Everybody has to do a different kind of job. The people who will be working as program analyst, obviously that person has to be a programmer and he will work as a programming person. Whereas the people who are working as a business analyst and data analyst, probably they will not program the things. So the profiles are different, the nature of job will be different, but all of the two difference is that they all have to work with data and data. So when you're working with the data analyst tool, it does not depend upon what kind of industry data you are working with. It can be data from airplane company, it can be data from rail company, it can be data from any other garment company, it can be data from tire company or petroleum company, it doesn't matter. But each of the profiles which you can expect to join after you complete your course or after you complete your graduation or masters, along with the knowledge of data analytics. And the advantage is, let me tell you, at least twice the amount a person gets in IT department as a fresher. Again, I'm repeating, the salary scale of business analyst tables are approximately twice as much as IT tables as freshers. Next. So you want to be a data expert? Somebody please respond. Yes, no, what?
Yes, sir.
Obviously, yes, because you have not learned the software till once you get hold of the software, you start loving it. Now, till now, I have been talking a lot. I have been talking a lot. I have been giving you much scope to ask. Now it is your turn. It is your session. I'm getting back to the session. We have a word with you. Please ask me the questions you are having in your mind. Anybody, please ask me any questions regarding data analytics. Or should I sum up the entire thing once again for you? Somebody please respond.
Yes, sum up.
Yes. We started from, thank you very much. Who is this? What is your name?
Sir, Korea, not school.
Okay. Now we started from the very basics of data. We said that we cannot work with data if the data are not in information format. The first thing is that we need to convert our raw data in a proper format, which is information, which has to be stored in tables. Basically, in rows and columns. Once the formation of table is done, the third thing is intelligence, basically the research and development part. And once the research and development part is done, the fourth step is innovation, which we call as strategy formation. So once your strategy is set, then you will be able to take a decision, and then ultimately the business will grow. Although we are talking about what business and data interchangeably, it does not mean that it is only made for business. It is also for scientific research also. Lots of scientific research are done using software like Tableau, using software like Power BI, researches are done on clinical researches are done mainly using a software called SAS software. So different softwares are there for different purposes. Now as a data scientist, what is our responsibility? Our responsibility basically lies in understanding the programming that we have learned. Next is understanding the basics of statistics. All the tools that you will be working with, they are not general tools. Those tools are not made for web development. Those tools are not made for app development. Those tools are not made for software development at all. They are only made for data analysis. So understanding of basic statistics is required, which is not very hard. Understanding of basic programming is not very hard. And obviously, your interest in the subject. Because if you find interest in something, now let me tell you, this subject is very much interesting. The next thing which I also told you last is that you do not need to learn all of them as such, but at least the knowledge of one programming language like R or Python is required, or at least the knowledge of one tool, which can be SAS, which can be SPSS, which can be Tableau, which can be Pentaho. At least the knowledge of one visual tool is required. So if you learn this much, life becomes easier for you. And nowadays, in every interview, questions are asked from data analytics. Whether you go for marketing interview, or HR interview, or finance interview, or IT interview, doesn't make any difference. You just make it a point that some basic questions from data analytics will be asked to you. So you have to get ready for that. That is the point. Any question from anybody? Regarding those, do you have any query?
No, sir. Clear, sir.
Anybody? Any queries? Shomita Maiti, any queries? No, sir. Shreya Pradhan, are you there?
Yes, sir.
Do you have any queries?
No, sir. No, sir.
Who's the person talking to?
Hi, sir.
Achha, thank you so much. Again, we are getting back to the presentation once again. So we are in the last part of the presentation. So basically, you had some queries, but you didn't ask me, so I answered them by myself. So basically, I would like to say something about ourselves. As I said, we are IT and education training company. Where our head office is in New Kids, and our training unit is in Textbook, which is in North Kolkata. So our training happens in North Kolkata mainly. So if someone wants to cooperate with us, the phone numbers are given over And lastly, I'd like to thank all of you, all the 69 participants, and make this session a great session. And I'm very happy to be with you and train you and lead you our journey. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
If you want the session, please respond. You want the answer, please respond.
Hello?
Hello?
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
So many thanks to our student and especially Director Mukul Basu for his inspiring lecture on data analytics. I hope the student got the insight of the data analytics and enjoyed much. And now think about whether you will be going for professions which will give you a lot of job opportunities. Now you know every institute and every university, every offering course. BTech course also offering some university on data science and machine learning. So I think you have got certain idea of data analysis, and for that you have to equip with different skills like the programming skill already you have got that in your BTech course curriculum, and also you have certain statistics, mathematics, so many tools already you have learned. So it will not be the obstacle to be expert in data science. You have got good knowledge, and at least in a certain intellectual level. And if you want to pursue some courses on data analytics, it requires some time to understand this. So R programming, Python programming already you learn in your course or BTech course curriculum, etc., and DSC course curriculum. So anyway, I thanks Director Mukul Basu for giving lectures, and with that we come to the end of this session. And next session will start from 4 o'clock. Will you start 4 o'clock, Dr. Mukul Basu? Will you start? Yes.
Again, I will be repeating the students are participating over here in this seminar are able to receive the certificate participation which will be sent to email IDs within 7 working days. So again, I will thank you, sir.
Okay, one thing, sir.
Yes.
I will the students appear in today's webinar. They have to just give a feedback.
Yes. The students who are attending the seminar will fill up by you. The link of which has already been given to your email address. So please check your email, and within half an hour's time, please send us the feedback. The students who are going to send the feedback, they will be receiving the participation certificate within 7 working days from Global Systems.
Sure.
So I'd like to okay, sir. So I'd like to conclude.
All of you understand what Mukul Basu says? You have to give the feedback. So in this session, you have learned many things and give the feedback, and accordingly the certificate will be given to you. Okay. And the next session, you convey the message. The next session will start from 4 o'clock. Okay, and it is not for you. It is for third year and fourth year students.
So
Fine.
everybody will check your mail, feedback form, send the feedback form to us. And as we know that the circular should issue to you, you may watch your emails, you might be getting in 3-4 days time. Maximum time that we're taking from our side is 7 days. Okay, thank you so much. Thank you everybody for joining us.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.